Hello, I'm Laura. I'm a biologist from Scotland. However, I do most of my work in the Amazon rainforest, partly because it's a lot warmer there than it is in Scotland, but also because it's one of the most incredible places in the world. It is home to thousands and thousands of animals and plants. Many of them we haven't even discovered yet. So it's a very important place to protect. The rainforest is also important for providing many services to us, such as clean air and clean water that benefit the entire world. I conduct my research in Peru, in the Manu Biosphere Reserve. This is one of the richest areas for animal and plant life in the world. However, it's also under a lot of pressure from people for various things, like cutting down the forest for wood, for building materials, and also clearing the land so that there's space to grow crops and to feed cattle. I'm studying the effects of human disturbance on the wildlife of the rainforest. So I'm looking at a gradient of human disturbance going from really, really good forest to forest that has been disturbed a little bit, and then forest that has been cut down but allowed to grow back, and finally to forest that has been cut down completely so people can grow crops like banana plants. I look at a few different groups of animal, mostly insects. So I look at butterflies, dung beetles, and orchid bees. Dung beetles are very important for the forest because they help recycle all the nutrients for the soil. So you have a lot of large mammals in the rainforest, like monkeys, wild pigs, pumas, jaguar, and all of these animals are leaving their dung on the forest floor. The dung beetles then come along and bury this, and they make those nutrients available for the plants to use, so then the plants can grow better with good healthy soil. Butterflies and bees are very important for pollinating the plants, so they help all these different plants to reproduce and help maintain the structure of the forest. Orchid bees especially have a very important relationship with orchid flowers, and some of these flowers are only visited by very, very specific bees, and if we didn't have those bees, those flowers would disappear from the forest completely. To study how these animals respond to the disturbance of the rainforest, we set out lots of different types of trap. So we used rotten banana to attract butterflies. We used some really nice perfumes like eucalyptus to attract the orchid bees. And then we used cups baited with dung to attract dung beetles. After we collected them all, we either identified them out in the field where we could, or we took them back to a museum to identify later. The results of this research show that we really need to be very careful to protect the rainforest, because if we cut it down and if we disturb it, we lose a lot of species that perform really important roles, and they're very valuable. So we need to be more careful about how we use the land and how we protect the forest.